he didn't mention that. He said after Mahaprabhu said nobody took sannyas.
What
Then
about?
it was Bhaktisiddhanta did, and a few others did. I corrected him on some historical points. He has strong things to say. Yes, Prabodhananda Saraswati, Goswami, and of course then from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's time. No, what he said was Kali Yuga sannyas is prohibited. I'm sorry, yes.
Oh.
He said in Kali Yuga sannyas is prohibited. He was quoting that verse from Yudhavalam. And then I actually spoke on that verse. I replied, giving the Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding of that verse and what it means to be sannyas. Which kind of sannyas is prohibited? Karma sannyas that is prohibited. Not sannyas for the sake of preaching. Yeah, so then I just mentioned that it's not karma sannyas. Karma sannyas is not possible in this age. But sannyas, as mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Irtanasthaya Paratmanishtam verse, the song of the Vedanti Brahman, that's the spirit in which sannyas is taken. Thank you.
My question is to Kripamarti. When you were speaking, you said that in other religious organizations, many of the people in the renounce, or whatever the equivalents are, they maintain their renunciation for a lifelong renunciation. So there's no reason why in Islam we can't do it. But we just need to make a few adjustments here and there. So I was wondering if you could elaborate as to what those adjustments were.
Well, just briefly, I think it's a question of always creating an ISKCON where preference is given for detachment and renunciation, where it's possible to have long-term vows. Prabhupada himself said that, when a brahmachari goes out onto a modern street to sell books for the spiritual master, he is forced to sometimes see behavior which is unbecoming for keeping one's vows. So he said in another place that therefore we have an international festival every year where devotees can come to India and they can draw energy for their preaching. Certainly for preachers it's important to go once a year. I think sometimes with preaching in the West and with women who have joined our movement in the West and with the sense of democracy and fair play and equality in the West, sometimes, only sometimes, a brahmachari is sometimes afraid to be a brahmachari, that it's sometimes seen as being something that is, won't be in our ISKCON society, that if you do try to behave in a certain way to keep your mind free from temptation, that you'll be viewed as being strange or eccentric or something like that. But I think that traditionally monks would have monasteries. They would have places that were conducive for practicing the vows of a celibate person. And what we have in ISKCON is often places where everybody's mixed together, where there's social expectations placed upon you that are inconsistent with your proper observance of the ashram. And even as a grihastha, I object to that. In fact, I object to the democratization and the social sort of laissez-faire that we have in some parts of ISKCON, because I think it's unproductive. So we want brahmacharis to be brahmacharis, not young men who are, one day they're thinking like this and another like that. Once you've made the ashram, and similarly we want great grihasthas also to be strong in their ashram. We want 4 ashrams. There's only 4. Sometimes ISKCON creates an ashram in between each of those 4. So we end up with brahmachari, then bachelor, than a householder, than irresponsible householder who goes preaching and ignores wife and family, then vanaprastha who isn't quite sure what a vanaprastha is, so he gets married again, then sannyasi who plays with children or has a lot of money, or in other words, there's 4 ashrams. There's very clear advice how to live in each of these 4 ashrams. Just be a member of one of the 4, and whichever 4 you choose, do it properly. And then don't allow anyone else to influence your choice inappropriately. That's what I was thinking.
Me? Yes. Because I actually wanted to ask a question about devotees who find themselves in a situation where they cannot practice actually brahmacharya, simple living in a brahmanical style, but still they can remain celibate, and it is certainly beneficial for their own devotional practice. They can chant their rounds and follow all the rules while being outside and trying to maintain the family. One can be sure that they would not do so. So can you comment on this? How it, because definitely spiritual life is more important. And what if somebody cannot fulfill, what if somebody would choose to be proper in ashram, but at the cost of spiritual life?
If someone chooses to be
properly situated and fulfill duties in ashram at the cost of spiritual life. As you said, we have 4 ashramas and one should choose one of them.
Yes, I'm perhaps talking a little. You see, I've been a member of ISKCON now for, well, it's 35 years, and I've seen that ISKCON is constantly in a state of becoming more and more and more what Srila Prabhupada wanted it to be. And that's a nice thing. But it's not finished yet. In other words, it's the brahmacharya ashram, the grihastha ashram, the sannyasa ashram is not everything that it should be. In vanaprastha ashram, we don't even know what that is. It's sort of a vague thing that comes in between one and the other. But as we develop, we will see that there are more opportunities for a person to get every component of what he needs to practice properly. I'm just saying that never take any situation that you find yourself in as being everything that's possible within our society. There's always somewhere else that you can improve, get better association, and not sacrifice your spiritual life. Is that right?
Would you suggest finding a situation that in which one could live properly in, for example, grihastha ashram, if one is not able to be really brahmachari, still a situation which would facilitate it with spiritual life?
Yes, well, there's only one ashram. You know, if you cannot remain brahmachari, there's only one choice left to you. But if you make that choice, or have it chosen for you by superior guidance, then it's best to do it with all the boundaries and provisions in place.